Hello siblings, welcome to another video. So if you are new, make sure to go ahead and subscribe, and my social media is always down below. I make vlogs daily and I like to incorporate a lot of like aesthetically pleasing, like slow motion type of stuff in my vlogs. So in today's video I'm going to be doing something you guys have been wanting me to do for a really long time, and I'm going to show you how I initially make those edits. So before I even start over on my screen, a couple things. I use the Canon G7X Mark II, and the way I get my things in slow motion is I shoot in 60 frames per second on my camera, which most cameras can do. So you just need to make sure that you are in 60 frames per second, otherwise the slow motion is not going to be smooth. It's going to be like fake slow motion, which does not look good. And then I also use my Mac, which is this, you know. I also have a MacBook Pro. I have all the same like features on it as well. Yeah, so today I'm just going to be showing you how I edit my slow motion montages. So let's go ahead and pull up the screen and I'll be talking to you guys down here in the corner. Okay, so this is a vlog from a really long time ago. This is just from Washington, but I know that there's a lot of like adventuring in it, so it's going to be really good stuff to show you guys how. So I'm just going to go ahead and use footage from down here. This is in Cape Flattery in Washington. Here, I'm going to move this like in front of me so you guys can see me. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is like I'll go through and watch all of my shots and decide what I want to put in and what I don't. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw some things on the timeline and then show you guys from there. Okay, so I have just like a few clips down on the timeline. This isn't really like all that much, but I remember my camera did die this day. So first I go ahead and highlight them all, and then I go over here to the like time stamp thing, I don't know what to call it, and then I make it 50% because I shoot in 60 frames per second. And like the more frames per second, the slower you can get. So since I shoot in 60 frames, I can just slow it down to 50%. Then I come over here, and some people detach the audio, which I just turn it down to negative infinity, which works fine for me. So a lot of people might be like, okay, like that's all you need to do, not just throw on a song. But you know, you have to do a lot of things to make it really look good. I don't know how great these shots actually are because I wasn't really trying that hard. I was like in the most beautiful place ever, so ignore that. But okay, so I'm gonna go to yesterday and just steal that song, or whatever day this was, from the lake, and go ahead and throw it down here. So what you have to do is mark up the your shots with the song. So the way I do it is, sometimes I don't do this, sometimes I just like do it as I go, but sometimes I will mark the song as the beats are, so I can have a cut on each beat or every other beat. So what I do is press M, and that just marks it. This spot right here, I kind of messed up over here, but this is like my beats. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, you know, actually, okay, so I'm just gonna take this beginning part because I didn't mark it because I was just kind of like a lot of stuff. So I usually try to watch the shot because I usually like spin a lot in my videos and like do like cute little things, and whenever I think I look really good or someone else looks really good or just the shot is good. Obviously I want it to be a longer shot, so I still have to cut it on beat, but it can be more than just on beat. That nature shot's kind of weird, but I'm just gonna put it in. Okay, you also want to make sure that this over here is on, because that pushes all the clips like together where you have your hand. I don't know what this is called. Arrow. So just make sure everything is on beat. So now that I have my marks, considering this is all really pretty, I'm going to do every other mark, and it should, actually this one was pretty good, so I'm going to go a little bit longer, and then I just watched them. So that was a little long for me, so just cut it a little bit shorter, and this was good, so I'm going to keep it. cut off the beginning. So now I have all my clips to the cut amount that I would want them, and the next step is to go over here and I'm going to be coloring them. Now I actually did buy these colors, but there are lots of places that you can get free colors, but I just went ahead and bought them because, you know, I use them every day. So I click on this clip, I come over here to the effects, and I choose my LUT. So I always go for, this is my favorite one, it's called Relax, and obviously it's really intense, so turn it down and make it good for, you know, what I am like looking at. And then on top of that, I'm going to put a letterbox, which gives it that like cinematic feel. A lot of this is just kind of faking cinematics because I'm not the best at like filming good cinematics, so I do my editing. So I have that first clip. Now this may not apply to all of these because it was different scenarios. Oh my gosh, I just totally like to show you guys what I did. So I selected them all, I pressed Shift Command V, which yeah, brought up this, and then if not all of it is slow motion or like some of it is like sped up for your clips or whatever, then you're gonna want to make sure to not have retiming checked, because that's gonna retime them all to be the same as that clip that you are copying pasting, because you are currently copying pasting your edit from the first one to the other ones, and then like this is fine. So I'm gonna paste it. Oh, I just did it twice, but I didn't mean to do that, so I'm gonna just take that off with Command V. So now these all have that original LUT and letterbox on them. So now what I'm doing is I'm just watching, and if I think I can intensify it a little bit more, then I will, and if I need to bring the color down a little bit, I will too. So like this one, it wasn't as dark, so I feel like I can bring that up more. Maybe even, yeah, probably just all the way works. This one, probably the same thing. But you also want to make sure that it's not too much coloring, because like, see, this one has his face in it, so like too much would just look bad, so turn it down a bit. And you know, sometimes you just gotta mess around with it. That's initially how I edit them. Obviously this wasn't like the best edit, like this clip was too long and this shot was too long too, but that's initially just like how I edit my slow motion montages. You just shoot in 60 frames per second, slow it down to 50% in Final Cut, add your coloring, add your letterboxes, line it up with the beat of the music, and that's pretty much how you make a cinematic moment. And then the way I vlog is I mix that with like funny times and just like vlogging, like saying what's going on, mixed with a bunch of like cinematic sequences, aesthetically pleasing sequences, whatever you call them, slow motion montages. Everyone calls them something different, like on all my vlogs, so I never know what to call them. I guess they are just slow motion montages, but that is pretty much just how I do them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it taught you a little bit something of how things are done, and whether you want to make videos and this helps inspire you or help you know what to do, or if you just think it's entertaining and I've always wanted to know how I do it, then you know, here you go. And if you don't really care anything about editing, then now you just know what I'm doing when I'm spending my hours editing, because the more montages I have, the longer it takes to edit, because throwing all of me talking together or funny videos doesn't take any time at all, but putting all this together really takes a lot of effort. But these ones are my favorite vlogs to edit, so I love doing them. So hope you enjoyed this video. My social media is down below. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys tomorrow.